So I got up this morning, it was dull, gonna rain, and I thought, should I traipse into the Peak District or should I come out into Manchester and do some long exposure photography? Well, I'm not in the Peak District. I'm already set up for my first shot. You see some of the settings here. I'm at f11, 10 seconds, ISO 100. I am running through a 3-stop ND filter. Behind that's a polarizer as well. So that equals about 4 stops, which enables me to get that 10-second exposure. The key to long exposure is actually light, but in this case it's reducing light. You can do long exposure photography at night when it's dark, early in the morning, during the night. But if you want to come out during the day to do long exposure, then you're going to need to reduce the light further than your camera can do by itself. So we use ND filters to do that. So I'm going to wait for a tram to come through. I'm looking for one really on the nearest line to the camera. Also, what I want to do is I want to photograph the tram for longer than it's actually be going past for. So in the tram, you can see the stop behind it. Today I am shooting on my Canon 760D, 10-18 lens on the front of it. I'm set up manually focused in, so I'm not messing about with autofocus when the tram arrives. I'm ready to go. I am focused in on this post in the middle here. So all I'm waiting on now is a tram. A little bit further down. We started off way up there and we're now down here. We're actually at Salford Quays, so technically we're not in Manchester. This is, well, this side of the Quays is Trafford, and to show that we're in Trafford, I've got this sign in front of me. I've lined up and that's going to form kind of like the interest in the shot with a tram running behind it. I am actually set up in the middle of the path, so I'm being very aware. I'm the obstruction here. It is my duty and my responsibility to make sure that it's all safe. Well, whilst we're talking about the obstruction of my tripod here, this is the Manfrotto 190. It's actually the aluminium version. In terms of the most stable tripod that I own, this is it. It's going to do a good job of being ready now for this tram that is about to go past and capture this shot. A few years back, I mentioned what filters I have on this channel and got a barrage of abuse from unpaid brand ambassadors for other brands who told me that my filters were shit. But these, what I've been using, and every photograph you may ever have seen on this channel that is long exposure taken with filters on, has been done with a filter system by a company called Zomai. I say a filter system, actually the glass is by a company called Zomai. The filter holder that I use is by a company called Firecrest. It is the glass versions. I must admit, I have used one of their resin filters, and yet they are crap, and they'll give a colour cast, and it will taint your image quality. But the glass ones, again, I'll link these down in the description below, are high quality. I've been using them for years. They are half the price of the leading brand, and they do a fantastic job. Now these were actually recommended to me, well, recommended to everybody because they did on a video by a guy called Gary Goff, who some of you will be familiar with. And at the time I thought, well, if they're good enough for Gary Goff, they are good enough for me. So I would recommend them no matter what anybody else might say. The light's gone brighter. Now that's not really a problem in terms of the exposure time, because I just increase the filter from a 3-stop to a 6-stop, maintain that exposure time. But the issue, well, is that the vehicles, the buildings are turning the lights off now, and that's what's giving kind of the look that I'm going for. So although I'll be able to capture a long exposure and to maintain that exposure time without the lights, it's just not as dynamic. So I think this is probably going to be the last shot that I can get. I've put in the background the War Museum here, which, as you can see, has a slight slant. The whole idea of the War Museum is that it injects this kind of horrible feeling in you, so it's kind of all built on a slant. So in the image, it's going to be on a slant. It's not me, it's the building, honest. And I'm just going to have the tram running underneath it. All the lights are off, as you can see here, and yeah, the lights of the trams are off. There's one behind me there. No lights on, you can see it passing through other than the front ones. So in terms of my intention for what I was going to capture, it's over. I might head over the river and just do a couple more just of some of the buildings. I'll pop those up if that is the case. Those of you who've been following my journey, following this channel into landscape photography, put together my first ever collection. It's available on the website right now. There's over 40 images in it, some of which have never been seen before. There's also a guide to each of the image where the location it was took, plus a little bit of spiel from me as well about how I got started in landscape photography or Peak District photography. So if you're into that kind of stuff, pick up a copy, because it is less than a cup of coffee. Link is down below, and you'll be helping to support the channel and all the content that I put out there that hopefully helps you to improve as a photographer. I'm gonna head over there, do a couple more shots, and then go and get a coffee. I'll see you guys on the next one pretty damn soon. But for now, I've been Dave, and this has been Let's Click Photography. Bye.